Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. Today I wanted to talk about the Kimono lady and what else the show might have in store for her. As we know in From, we definitely have not seen the last of her yet, so let's get started. The first times we've seen of her were in season 2 when it got revealed to us that Fatima was pregnant. We did not know at the time though it was not Ellis's kid or even a kid at all. But what was the strangest thing about it, Fatima's pregnancy, is that she is not able to even be pregnant. So it was a pretty major cause for concern. Also, Elgin has been having dreams or visions since season 2 as well, of the Kimono lady haunting him as well. And at first I thought it was like a future version of Fatima that like has been decrepit or turned evil or something like that. But it turns out she was trying to get in contact with him for help. And it wasn't until season 3 when we see Fatima starts to eat rotten food to satiate her appetite. We see that she rejects normal food when she tries to eat it, and the only thing that she enjoys eating is their rotten food. And a little later in the season, when we see Akasa arrive, she accidentally kills a colony house member in that episode. And Fatima later on, she starts to eat the blood out of her body, and I think that's the first time she does that. And it was a little bit weird because if that's a normal baby wouldn't, pregnancy cravings aren't human blood, so yeah. So now we know that Fatima, something wrong is going on. It's not normal. And also a little bit before all of this, Elgin and Julie were hanging out in, I think, the cellar of the town or somewhere near the cellar, and they find a camera, and Elgin kind of like takes to it and he starts to use it around town, and he seems like the happiest that he's ever been ever since finding the camera, but he is just using a lot. And eventually he takes a picture of Fatima, and when he's looking at it, we can see the Kimono lady appear in the background of the picture. And a little later we see him with the camera again, and another photo snaps by itself, and this time it's a picture of the cellar that we see that has been shown throughout the seasons. And Elgin goes there and he finds a man with a boulder crushed on top of him, and he says, "Is this a spot where we're going to do it?" And we all know what happens after that. He kidnaps Fatima and he tries to force feed her his blood so the baby will grow quicker. And he explains to her that it's not her baby but someone else's baby, and a baby is actually there because they do try to do a ultrasound, but nothing appears during that. And after all that, the town realizes that Fatima is missing, and so they go and try to find her. And this is after she kills Tilly as well. But during finding her, Elgin has to go back out to keep up appearances to make it look like he was not the one to kidnap her. And the Kimono lady starts to appear like without there being any type of dream or picture being taken, because previously that's how she was contacting Elgin, at least. And we then see her start to have the baby, and the Kimono lady is there also delivering it as well, while Elgin is also being tortured by Boyd so they can figure out where Fatima is. And then after all the craziness, the baby is actually born, but it's revealed to us that it is not a baby but Smiley. And we also figure out here that they are immortal and they sacrifice their children to the town, but that's not the point of this video. The Kimono lady, from all the clues that we can gather from the TV show, and even we know that the kimono from what she's wearing is Japanese. So I did a little bit of research about Japanese folklore, because that's what it seems like that the main themes of this show are all about. And I found a yokai or ghost in the Japanese folklore called a abume, and I think that's how you pronounce it correctly. I do apologize if I'm incorrect. And also real quick, we know it's a ghost because when Christy and Marielle were doing the ultrasound of Fatima, there was nothing in her stomach, but Fatima is swearing up and down that she has a baby inside of her because, all of the symptoms that she says and stuff like that. But back to what the ubume is. They're described as a woman who dies during childbirth, and the reason that they turn into a ghost or a yokai is because the anxiety that they hold for their child still weighs on them, but they can have many different appearances as well. They normally wear a white dress that is bloodstained to symbolize childbirth, and it's a little terrifying, the art that I've seen of the ubumes. But they haunt the area close by where they pass away during childbirth, and they appear on dark rainy nights and try to get people to take their child from them so they can care for it instead. Sometimes they also just disappear into the water that they are in as well. And if someone does take the child from her, the child grows into a giant boulder that eventually kills the person that took the child. And we can see that here in this scene when Elgin goes to the cellar after the picture is being taken. We can see this man here and the boulder is on top of him, crushing him. So maybe this is exactly a Ubume, the kimono lady. Also, it says sometimes Ubume are found in bodies of water. But as for why she's still haunting the From Town, we have to assume that she was probably in a previous cycle or maybe something like that and was killed during childbirth. But we will probably see her again. I have a feeling that the residents are going to start to really try to fight back against the monsters next season, and there probably will be a lot of deaths from the monster side. So she might be bringing the monsters back, or she might have a new role altogether. We don't really know. Or maybe she is one of the helpers, like I have been theorizing that the man in yellow is as well. She could not be the main entity, neither the man in yellow, but just one of the helpers for the main entity, because if she's the one to bring the monsters back, she probably wasn't the one to give them eternal life in the first place. But what do you all think about all this speculation and theories? Am I missing anything on her? And do you think she could be something else, possibly? Do you think she still has control over Elgin? Like, is he still going to try to go die hard for her and just do anything she tells him? Let me know below, and if you don't mind to leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next one. Thanks for watching, everyone.